My name is Sam Vidambu. I am a life coach and also a motivational speaker. Mostly I work with schools. So I work with schools, high schools, colleges, universities, talking to students on how they can achieve better in their life and how they can achieve their targets and goals. Even though I do many other things, but mostly what I do is speaking. Yeah.
So let's talk about the year has just started and we're going to have many people writing down resolutions and everything. But some of us, we fail to know even what a resolution is
What someone wants to achieve at the end of the year. But I always advise people that instead of looking at a resolution as something to achieve at the end of the year, I always advise people to look at daily goals instead of looking at the yearly goals. Of course, we must look at the long term, but also we must look at the short term. Because before you achieve that thing at the end of the year, you must be achieving it daily before you achieve it at the end of the year. Yeah.
So what are some of your resolutions for this?
I have a lot of resolutions, even though sometimes I always tell people that it's not very good to share what you want to achieve at the end of the year. Because if you don't achieve them at the end of the year, people will mock you and say, yeah, you were telling us that you want to buy this kind of thing, you want to go to Dubai, you want to buy this, and you never bought it. So sometimes I always tell people that if you want something, instead of sharing it out, just write it somewhere, so that it can be between you and that resolution.
Okay, someone else would argue that telling someone, it acts like accountability.
Yeah.
Because at some point they'll come and ask you, your plan yako ulifika wapi nayo? And then it's like, okay, let me do this.
Yeah.
Let me do this. Don't you think it kind of acts like a accountability of some sort?
And that's why we have life coaches. So when you want to share what you want to achieve at the end of the year, it should not be like you're sharing to every person, but you're sharing to someone that you trust. You trust that this person will not laugh at me if I don't achieve it. This person will be there to guide me and help me to achieve it in a better way. So yes, you can share, but not really sharing to every person, but sharing to people that you really trust. Yeah.
So what do you think are the possibilities of resolutions actually working out?
For me, I always say this. There are 2 or 3 factors that affect the possibility of a resolution being achieved. Number one is that most people don't achieve their targets because of one reason. They don't incorporate numbers in their resolution. You see, numbers never lie. So most people will tell you, I want to make a resolution which is, they talk about smart, specific, realistic, all those kinds of things, ambitious and all that. But for me, I always tell people, instead of saying that you want a realistic or attainable goal, talk about numerical goals. Because, for example, look at 2 kinds of people. One is saying that I want to lose weight. That is one person. Okay, we have 2 people. One is saying, I want to lose weight. Another person is saying, I want to lose 10 kgs by December. You see, these 2 people, they are aiming at the same thing, but the one who is talking about 10 kgs has high chances of achieving the target because he or she is not exactly what she wants or he wants. So for me, I always tell people, one of the things that affects if someone is able to realize their goals or not is if you've incorporated numbers in your target, and also other people get distracted along the way. Maybe it is June, and at the beginning of the year you had said, I want to achieve this, I want to buy this type of car by the end of this year in December. And then in June, you've not yet bought it. And another friend of yours has already bought a car. So you think that you've not really done the right things, and yet you still have 6 months to go. So for me, there are 2 main things that always distracts people from achieving their targets. Number one is lack of incorporation of numbers, and number 2, getting distracted along the way.
So
yeah.
I have I have made a resolution. Yeah. Maybe I started working on it, and then in the middle, somewhere along the line, I fell off or something. What can you advise me? Should I now say, okay, imefika March, this year is already ending, I will just do this next year? Yeah. What can you tell me? I
always say it is not over until it's over. Remember, just like I've said, numbers are very important. And one of the numbers there is, I want to achieve it by the end of this year. The end of the year is 31st of December. So if someone is in March and they have not yet seen themselves achieving that target, they still have 9 months to go. So what they should do is change their tactics. And for me, I always tell people, the goal is still there. The only thing that someone needs to change is the plan. In case you've tried doing some things from January, February, and March, and they have not been working towards that target, the only thing that someone should change is the plan. So the goal is still there, the objective is still there, but now the plan to achieve that goal is what should now be changed. Yes.
Okay, so apart from maybe seeking the services of a life coach or maybe a trusted confidant to share with your goals so that they can help you with accountability, what other ways would you advise people to use so that I can remember that I was supposed to do this this year, I am not doing it? You know, that's something that should be pushing you towards achieving it. What are some of these methods that you would advise?
Number one is, today is 2nd of January, this the 2nd day of this year. What someone should do is this, and actually this they should have done yesterday. Because we are still at the beginning of this year, people are still in the festive mode, people are still in the rural areas, they have not yet come back to the city. So one thing I will tell them is this: if someone has not yet bought a diary, the first thing they should do as they are watching this is that they should go and buy a diary. And then after they have bought that diary for this year, 2023, after they have bought that diary, the next thing is they should now go to the 31st of December, 2023, that page. And then they should write there everything that they want to achieve at the end of this year, even if they look unrealistic. But they should ensure that they are incorporating numbers. If someone wants to lose weight, they must say, I want to lose 10 kgs, 15 kgs, 5 kgs by 31st of December. If someone wants to buy a car, they should say, I want to buy this type of car, this type of model, this year, and all that. And then after they have done that, they now come back to 1st of January, which is actually yesterday, unfortunately. They should come there, and then they write everything they should do to ensure they have achieve that target by the end of 31st of December. And then after that, the next thing, people should do something called, there's something which I always call 21-90-2. 21-90-2, I'll explain. 21-92 means this. So instead of someone having a life coach, they can just do this on themselves. There's something called 21-92, whereby it says this: it takes 21 days to form a habit. It takes 90 days to form a lifestyle, and then it takes 2 years to change a culture. I'll say again. So it takes the first 21 days of the year. Today is on 2nd of January. So the first 21 days of this year, someone should look at how they can form a new habit. Because maybe someone wants to lose 10 kgs by December. And just like I've said, they should not focus on the yearly goals, but the daily targets. So someone wants to lose 10 kgs by the end of this year. 21 days, the first 21 days of this year will determine a lot if they're really going to achieve that target or not. So it takes 21 days to form a habit. That means they should form new habits. For example, what someone eats, if someone goes to the gym, if someone works out, etc. And then the second thing is it takes 90 days to change a lifestyle. So the first 21 days were used for someone to form a new habit, a new way of doing things. And then the next 90 days, now that is 3 months, for someone to change a lifestyle on how they do their things. And then the other 2 years now, someone will have really changed their cultures. And that's why for me, whenever I do these programs with people, I always tell them, if you can do something consistently for 2 years, and you be consistent, you can achieve whatever you want in this world. Yeah, so instead of having a life coach, they should just incorporate something called 21-90-2. And then they should ensure that whatever they are doing, they are writing them down and they are using numbers.
Okay, so we have this other group of people who I have told myself that I need to lose weight, and I'm trying to really do it. Yeah. And then you find that now I'll tell myself that I normally watch this program. It's my favorite program at 8 p.m. So I put a rule that I must watch this program at the gym. So I'm working out, but at the same time, I really don't want to miss this program. I'm doing it. Or maybe I like eating a certain food. So what I will do is I want to read this book. So for me to start reading, I will cook this meal. So I am eating, but at the same time reading this book. So I'm achieving my target of maybe reading 2 books in a week or doing this. Would you say that is also a good way, or it can distract you?
Of course, someone has many targets. Maybe someone wants to lose weight, just like you've talked about in your example. But motivations. Someone said that you can never achieve anything in this world without motivation, because you must be motivated and inspired to do something. For you to become a news anchor and all that, you are motivated to become that. So there's something that always pushes you towards achieving it. So if a motivation of someone to lose weight is when they are watching a TV interview, if that is what motivates them to do this, then it's okay. So long as you're doing whatever you're supposed to do it. That is what really matters. Yeah.
Okay. I think that is it. Okay. So let's just talk a little bit about picking up after failure. Some of your pointers and maybe encouragements to people who maybe they feel like, okay, I said I'll start this one first.
Yeah.
It's already second.
Yeah.
It's already third.
Yeah.
It's already 5 years down the line.
Yeah.
How do I pick up after a failure?
One thing I always tell people is that there are 5 things that they should always look at. Number 1 is that they should not focus on the problems, but they should focus on the solutions. Okay, someone has been trying to achieve this thing for the last 5 years. And of course, there are always reasons. Everything has a reason. If someone has not been able to achieve a target, there is always a reason. So, and I've said one of the reasons is not using numbers, not being consistent, not incorporating life coaches and all that. So number 1 is someone should not focus on their problems, but they should focus on the solutions. And one thing I always tell people is that if something does not have a solution, then it is not a problem. You can only call something a problem if it has a solution. So if, like in mathematics, when you were in high school, teachers of maths used to come to class and tell us, solve this problem. So they were telling us, they were calling it a problem because they knew it has an answer. You know, so number 1 is that they should not focus on their problems, they should focus on the solutions. Number 2, they should not fit in, but they should stand out. Most people always copy what other people are doing. You know, so someone has a friend who wants to lose weight. Even them, they're saying, even me, I want to lose weight like my friend. Someone's friend wants to buy maybe a Jeep or a TX this year. And then because this person is his friend, he also says, I want to. So I always tell people, don't fit in, but stand out. Number 3 is that they should not do what they like, but they should do whatever it takes. So for you to achieve a target, there's always a sacrifice. Sacrifice is always there. Nothing in this world was achieved without a sacrifice. Someone must sacrifice. For example, if it's losing weight, someone has to go to the gym in the morning, maybe in the evening, and that is sacrificing. Because that time, maybe this person could be doing an overtime at work, and he could have been paid. But now because he's not able to go there, he has to go to the gym. They should not do what they like, they should do whatever it takes. Number 4, people should not manage time, but they should make time. Because some people will say, it's not time ya kwenda gym. That's what people say. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time with my family. I don't have time for this. But time is always there. So someone should not manage time, but they should make time for what they want. The last thing is that they should not make excuses. They should make adjustments. Most people always find a way of going around people. If someone did not achieve targets this year, they start saying, I never achieved my target because of my mom. I never achieved my target because of my boss. I never achieved my target because of my uncle, my this, you know. Like people who have done KCSE, results are coming out in the next 3 weeks. Some of them, if someone gets a D+, he or she starts saying, I got a D+ because of my principal. So you see, instead of looking at how they can make adjustments, they make excuses. So for me, I always tell people that they should not make excuses, they should make adjustments. And an encouragement to the people is that we are still at the beginning of January. So what they should do is that they should make realistic and numerical targets, and they can really achieve them at the end of the year. But they should not really look at the target as wholesome, they should look at the daily targets. They think that they are doing everything consistently daily so that they can achieve those targets at the end of the year. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.